Can't help feeling I'm missing something. Well, we'll see. We'll see if anything happens in the first minutes, the exciting minutes of the Infinite Creativity SABSANG with Sab in Paris. Creative, including creative exploration, but not limited to transformational coaching and exceptionally some self-inquiry. Yeah. That's what is possibly on the agenda. We will see what we will see. So how are you doing, everybody? I hope you're doing fine on this sunny Sunday. I don't know why I say that. It's 9 o'clock at night. It's not sunny at all. And yeah, welcome to another fun-packed, exciting SABSANG with me, Sab, who isn't going to sing. I'm not going to sing at all, so don't worry about that. Whilst we're waiting for people to come along, oh, I've got a comment, but I think it's me. It's the comment that I left. Oh, Christina says hello. I don't know if you're live. No, I don't think you're live, but anyway, hello. Nice to have you here. I mean, I hope you're alive, but I don't think you're live on the show. So Christine is saying hello, and that is very nice. Because it doesn't say that anyone's watching. Maybe you're watching on, I don't know where you're watching. Anyway, so this is the dilemma I have at the start of our time together. And you might want to help me out here. Yes, live. Christina, you're live. You're live. Fantastic. You're live and you're my viewer. So here's the dilemma I've got at the beginning of this SABSANG, which, well, I've got a dilemma. I'm going to show you something which might or might not be interesting and you can help me out with. But in case you don't know what a SABSANG is, it comes from the word satsang. But I don't like using other people's words. So a satsang is where some wise person, theoretically, sits down somewhere surrounded by acolytes or people who are interested in what they've got to say and listen. This person blah blahs for a while, and often it's on a spiritual topic, spiritual theme, and people ask questions and the wise one responds. Now, that's not me, which is why I call it a SABSANG and not a SATSANG. I am far from that. Having said that, I've got my favourite topic, which is creativity, with a little bit of productivity thrown in, with a little bit of life, the universe and everything, with a little bit of the curiosities of life. In other words, evidence that it's a crazy thing that we're living through. And I throw my stuff at you. And what I want is for you to throw your stuff back, okay? I show you mine, you show me yours. So my first questions, apart from hello, how are you doing? Thanks for watching. If you're watching on the replay, you can say hello, is tell me how you have been creative this week. Christina, I know you've been creative. I've seen stuff from you. We've got, Christine is absolutely trying to convince me that she's live. Yes, live, heart eyes. Live, L-I-V-E. Facebook Sab, you are live on Facebook. I'm glad to hear that. I'm also live on YouTube if everything's going well, according to plan. Hi there, Spinner. Nice to have you here. It's been so long. What is it now? 2 days since we were on a live together. Yuriska, hi Yuriska. Nice to have you here, all the way from sunny Peru. Now you watch your words, Sab. Be nice. So how long is that? How long is that you've been here and you're, satsang? Yeah, satsang is a satsang and a sabsang is a sabsang. Satsang is what other people do, sabsang is what I do. But I love the idea that the wise one, or the one who has something to say on their chosen subject, doesn't answer people's questions, they respond to them. I fully believe that I don't have answers for anybody, but I hope I can help people see some answers for themselves. Plus I want to encourage you like crazy to get as creative as you can, because I think that being creative is a wonderful way. There's many ways to lead a good life and to feel that you're living a good life. Personally, I've decided to adopt the idea that creating regularly, on a regular basis, and sharing is a wonderful way to feel that you're leading a worthwhile, enriching and generous life. The generous bit goes with the sharing. there's no point creating in a vacuum. Create and share. Create and share. So that's my thing. I've chosen it. Maybe it'll change the next week. I'm no guru. Let's talk about creativity. What have you created? Yeah, say hello. That's cool. And what have you created this week? What are you pleased with having created? So Christina's saying yes, heart, 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 heart. Thanks for the messages, Christina. It's really lovely to know that I'm not alone. Spiritual sass from you. Okay, well, look, can you help me out? Apart from me wanting you to tell me what you have created this week that you're happy about, and if you've got any links, I can try and find it. If you've got questions, I can try and respond to them. But look, I've been trying to do this healthy thing, and I fell off the wagon about 2 weeks ago, and I'm desperately trying to get back on. I've got 1 cup. Here it is. Give me a creative answer, will you? I've got 1 cup. It's a frog cup. Now, I could either fill it with green gloop, which is incredibly healthy, but a bit gloopy, or cha-cha, a crazy tiger energy drink, which is pure distilled, unadulterated crap, but is actually much more fun to drink than this green gloop. So that's the, can you give me a vote there? What should I go for? The green gloop or the crap, which is actually quite tasty? Creativity is my language. I'm still waiting, Christina. What have you created this? Oh my God, I'm going to blush. I don't think I'd have put that on the screen if I'd known that that was coming. I'm not even going to say it. Okay. All right. So, yeah, waiting for your responses. Should I go for the green gloop or the sugary crap? I am going to show you some creative stuff. So what I've been doing this week so far includes, but is not limited to, writing articles. And don't forget, at any point, please give me your comments, please give me your questions, and please contribute your creativity, including a link. If you give me a link, I will go and look at what you've been doing. So this is, waiting for that. I've been doing this. This is an article on 𝗍𝗵𝗜𝗏.com. And I like this one, it's called How Often Should You Work on Your Passion? You guys, how often do you think you should work on your... I'm going to put this one up. Hang on. I'm going to put this one up again. I love you, Sab. Can't get enough of that, right? Sorry, the green gloop. Is the spelling okay? Green gloop. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Green gloop. There it is. That's what I'm threatening to drink. And that's the other one. So, yeah, let me just put I love you up again. There you go. So, okay. I get a phenomenal, you won't believe this, I get a phenomenal amount of work done in the 5 minutes before going live. You know why? Because I get a website up that I'm going to show you, and I realise it's not up to date, or it's not finished, or there's a problem with it. You wouldn't believe how much useful work I get done in the last 5 minutes before I go live. You should try it. You should really try it. So, that aside, this is my latest article. I'm not going to read it. I just want interaction with you guys. But I'll tell you what it's about. Hot on the heels of my last 2 articles on 𝗍𝗵𝗜𝗏.com in the... Let me just show you the categories. In the Infinity Bites category, 2 recent articles in Infinity Bites, and that one was in Productivity Bites. So in Infinity Bites, the last 2 articles were were Purpose and Meaning for Dummies. I had this revelation about purpose. Do you have a purpose? Do you have meaning for that purpose? I never got what purpose and meaning was about. I read a million books on it. I knew I had to have one, but I just didn't get it. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what the difference between purpose and meaning was. It was driving me the way I am now. And then I had this revelation on the train. If you've heard me say this before, I'll only take 30 seconds for those who haven't heard it. I had this revelation, although you should read the article. Purpose is what you do on a day-to-day basis, quite a lot, voluntarily. In other words, it's what. That was okay for me. It's for dummies, and the biggest dummy is me. Okay, I wanted a dummy's explanation. So your purpose is what you do voluntarily, if you're lucky enough to be able to choose. I'm not saying everyone is, but if you're looking for a purpose, that's my definition. It's the thing you'd love to do if you could do whatever you like. Meaning, I decided, was why you do it. Why? What is the point of doing this thing that you would choose to do? So that's it. That was easy. You don't even have to read the article. I would though, because it's good, obviously. Christina's saying, okay, the green gloop. You're saying the green gloop. I wrote my second post on the 4 agreements. I know, and I'm going to look at it and I'm going to comment on it. It's really good, 𝗏𝗏. I posted a wonderful photo today for angels. Yeah, my daughter's called Angelina and my grandson is called, her son is called Gabriel, which is kind of interesting, isn't it? And I never even realised it. Okay, so I'm definitely going to look at that, 𝗏𝗏. Christina says, here's my creativity link. Oh my God, I don't... maybe I can find that somewhere. See if I can do that. I'm not sure. You can't, it's kind of tricky. Instagram. Maybe I can just go to your Instagram thing and find it. Okay, I'll try that now. And Instagram, that's personally free. It says invite, contact. Can't you just give me your sort of, Christina something or other? Christina Hepburn. You've probably got several, haven't you? Actually, Christina Hepburn, that doesn't look like you. Christina Hepburn, Conscious Hour. Is it Conscious Hour? Or is it Christina Hepburn 808? Or is it Blue Print of Abundance? Oh, you're not making it easy for me here. All right, so get back to me on that. Love seeing you today. Catch up soon. Oh, so you're going, are you? So soon. Christina.Hepburn. Okay, so which one was Christina.Hepburn? That's Conscious Hour. And this is Christina. Oh God, I think I've just got rid of it. Is that you? Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. All right, so that's what I can see. It says you've just put your creativity link. Okay, I think this is what you're showing me. Is this new? Is this new stuff? Beautiful, beautiful photographs. Okay, so just tell me what you've done. Conscious Hour. All 3. Okay. Oh my God. All right. Tell me which one you want me to look at, and then it'll be easier for me to Conscious Hour. I've got to know how to spell it as well. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to know which one you'd like me to look at, and if there's something you'd like me to, talk about or mention, or even answer questions of. You're a busy girl. Amazing. I know you are. I know that by not hearing from you very often. Okay, so we'll just get back to that. Pick any image, anyone. Pick any image, anyone. All right, well, I'm going to pick this one. Okay, clouds. Once upon a time, Christina sort of usurped 𝗏𝗏's article, but I'll get back to that. Once upon a time, I'm going to make this bigger. Once upon a time, I lived in a magnificent apartment. This isn't working very well. There we go. I lived in a magnificent apartment in the sky in beautiful Vancouver, BC, when concrete and glass and million-dollar views were seemingly still important to me. That makes me think that they're not important to you anymore, or not as important. That's an incredible photograph. Was that your view? I stayed in this home just long enough to dive deep within myself and to get my wings tuned. After a life situation left me broken. Then I leapt into complete uncertainty, and today I'm grateful for my incredible journey. One day, a humongous cumulus congestus, you're not making that up, are you? Showed up, threatening a downpour from its shadowy underlining, but its beautiful commanding presence absorbed, then reflected the light of the setting sun on the water and turned it from blue to pure gold. That is an exceptional photograph. I shot this image about 5 years ago, so I wouldn't forget how blessed I felt to have witnessed this unforgettable scene. And from my vantage point, it's similar to how I view our global condition today. When was this written? If this was written today, it's in March the 30th. There comes a time in a lifespan when a shift is essential. I feel that the road signs of this radical, universal shift upon us is a metaphoric thunderous cloud that has a silver lining. It is a most profound time for us all to reflect within to our own truth. Okay. This is quite apt and apposite, isn't it, for the last week, what's happened? The changing of the government and stuff. Well, what is he called? President. Spending time alone without smoked mirrors makes us face our imagined fears, heal our life and of those around us. And collectively we face our planet's dark night of the soul. It is also an opportunity to come alive, raise our vibration, and to share our voice with the world in whatever arena of life we find ourselves in at the moment. We can ask ourselves, who am I? What is my purpose? What is my article about? What is my... It's not serendipity, what is it? It's not happenstance. It's not a coincidence. It's I don't know. It's things that happen together which are quite cool. We were raising our vibration. Who am I? What is my purpose? How can I serve humanity? How can I serve humanity is the meaning bit. What is my purpose is what I'm going to do. Whatever you choose to do, I invite you to offer it with love. Namaste, Christina. Thank you, Christina. That is I took it at random and it's a beautiful one. And it links into my chat about the purpose and the meaning. And I'm going to go straight back to that. I mean, obviously Christina is a very aware person. If anyone wants to have a chat with Christina, and I guess one of your main concerns is still with sea life, as you're a part-time mermaid. Tell me if you've changed focus at all. The second one was your mission, and that's where you can actually focus down onto declaring, having found what you like doing, a reason for doing it, then declare, that's the mission bit, declare what you're going to do. And it's not that I think that you should spend a long time deciding, oh my God, should I do this or should I do that? Which is the right one? What if I make a mistake? No, it's between declaring to do something and not declaring to do anything at all. Because that's like doing nothing and watching Netflix, or actually doing something. So I would say it doesn't matter what you do, as long as you do something which has purpose and meaning. That's my little thing on that. Okay, and then the article I was going to show you is Productivity Bites 3, and it's called How Often Should You Work on Your Passion? How often do you think you should work on your passion, folks? Once a week? Once a day? Let me know. I'm going to go quickly through these. Put on browser and share screen. I think I'm going to have to move on. Christina, Conscious Hour. Yep, we've got all those. All three. Busy Girl. Pick any one image. The Cloud. Yes, that was my view. Amazing. Lovely, Christina, says 𝗏𝗏. I wrote that in March 2020. Yeah, well, there are changes, aren't there? You could, having said that, we were saying that there were changes when Obama became president, and then there were other changes when he stopped being president. So it's kind of, maybe I've got my own theory on what Trump taught us, and I'm going to show you that in a second. Thank you, Sab. There are no accidents in life. Synchronicity. Yeah, that'll do, won't it? That'll do. Nice word. All of it. All of it. And I integrate spirituality and my creative endeavours, including marine conservation. Wonderful. So let me show you a couple of things that have come to my mind over the last few days. So I was at that, and it's a bit, you would think it's political, but now I'm going to tell you it's not. So just chugging through here. Yeah, so that was my article. I'm just going to chug up a little bit. Here's a couple of things from Paris. This is one of my Paris photographs here. Kind of nice on the black and white theme, you know, black existing nicely with white, or is it white existing nicely with black? So you can get meaningful messages there. I must admit, I got a bit bugged by the whole Trump thing. I want to make something quite clear, and I'm going to open this because I'm thirsty. I'm not a political person. I'm not into politics. I'm going to go all big screen on you now. I'm not into politics. Please, you can tell me what you think, but you need to know I'm not a political person. I'm not even really interested in politics. I'm not even sure if politics is a thing. I'd like everybody to, you know what Joe Biden is saying at the moment? He maybe is saying it to sound really, really cool and level-headed and sane after Trump. But when he's talking about unifying people and being the president of everyone, you know, they all say this. Macron said this in France. Everyone, they all say this. Well, they don't all say it. But in countries where they think it's a good thing to do, they all say that. But wouldn't it be good if it were true, you know? And I mean, if you compare Biden, if you're not cynical and you literally just listen to him, it sounds great. It's like a breath of fresh air. So I'm not at all political. I don't care, to be honest, who is in power if they're a good person, if they've got their heart in the right place. There's a place for capitalism, there's a place for socialism. There's no black and white. You know, you might support one guy's policies and another gal's policies on something else. You know, there's no perfect solution. So that's why I'm not political. I know we've got the system, we're supposed to vote and everything. Fine, good. But we know how deeply flawed the system is. But I'm more into, let's get above the politics. Let's look at the humans. Let's look at the people who are doing this stuff and see who you feel you can trust. So when I'm making my apparentlys with Trump as the target, it's nothing to do with politics. I hope you understand that. It's about Trump, to be honest. And it also goes much deeper. It's about where humanity is in its development, if you were. You know, where the hell are we? And we're not far from hell in many cases. So this one, seeing this little kid having his little tantrums because he isn't winning is just so, well, this is what I said. That's me. Trump's going to, in all its glory, Trump's going to cry. Cry fraud if, and only if, he loses. We're going to have to rewrite the definition of pathetic. I mean, you could say sad, but I said pathetic because I don't think he's particularly redeemable. And unfortunately, I think he deserves criticism. I wouldn't say that about many people, but in his case, I think he genuinely does, in terms of, you know, I quite like the idea that we're all one, you know, peace and love, namaste, you are me and I am you, all this sort of stuff. I believe it. Having said that, if you go 100% in that direction, you kind of give up your humanity. You give up the game of being human. You know, we're made to have emotions. We're made to like some things and dislike others. And I think we're made to have morals and to take stands. I think that's part of what being human is. So you can love everyone theoretically and, you know, believe that we're all one theoretically. But if you want to play the game of being human, I think you need to take a stand when you feel that something is important. So that's why I'm doing this. I never talk about politics, and I don't believe I am now. I believe I'm talking about humanity when I put these apparentlys with Trump as the target, as it were. Because I believe that we've got something to learn. And I say this in a later apparently. It's not about criticizing him, even. It's more about using this to get people to wake up a little bit more. Maybe we needed Trump after Obama. Maybe Obama was too good. I'm not saying he was perfect, but maybe he was too good for us. And the danger was that we would forget maybe his approach, which you may like, you may not, I don't know. The fact that he was the first president of colour, or whatever the appropriate term is. Now we've got Kamala, I don't know how you say her name, Kamala, the first vice president of colour, woman. This is, you know, seems like an advance. That's fine. So maybe we needed Trump in order, maybe we need these ups and downs, you know. It's like you need bad times in your life to appreciate the good ones. So maybe it's part of that. And I think it's kind of ludicrous that millions and millions and millions of people should have their lives deeply affected by one single lunatic, or even one single sane person. It's kind of weird, don't you think? But if that's what we've got, that's what we've got. We have to work with it. So that was one thing that I wrote, and I wrote another one after that. This, by the way, is 𝗲𝗏 𝗲𝗏, it's going into 𝗲𝗏, and just on the other side of this arch is the Buren columns. They're black and white. I showed you a picture earlier. And I mean, I like the photograph, but there's actually a little bit more to it than meets the eye, because right next to this guy and this person walking into the arch, into the light, was my Today's the Day slogan, into the light, today's the day, into the light. There's this person, basically, let me read you the thing, you know, there's nothing much more pointless than explaining words with other words. It's like explaining a poem in other words. It's really, really silly. So I'm going to, theoretically, my text that goes with the photograph is the synthesis of my thoughts. So I'll read you the text and then you can see what you think. By the way, we've got some comments here from Christina, who loves me, who integrates spirituality into your creative endeavours. You know, so do I, Christina. This is my raison d'être. It's what I try to do. And you know what? Quite a few of my friends, like you and like others, are the same. So it's not a surprise. I love your photos. Thank you very much. You need that energy drink to appreciate the green gloop. You know, I wonder what if I mix them together. No, I think I'd be heaving all over the keyboard. Christina says, I love that you shared exactly what is in your heart, with or without the name Trump. Trump's an anomaly, but if you believe that nothing's a coincidence, I don't know what I think about coincidence. I won't go into that. But if you believe that we can learn from everything, well, here's a good example of a learning opportunity we have, isn't it? The 𝗲𝗏 isn't a bad address to have on your CV. Are you some sort of shady ministry mole? I'm talking about this guy here, down, that you can just about see here. Isn't a bad address to have on your CV, the 𝗲𝗏, the royal palace. Are you some sort of shady ministry mole? Not exactly. A somewhat snooty concierge then. That wouldn't be it either. Okay, so you work in one of those funny little boutiques tucked away under the arches, selling colonial pipes and snuff boxes. No. Oops, sorry, sore point. Surely not a modern day courtesan, all the same. Not even. I take out the trash. Mind you, it's pretty high quality trash, monsieur. So there's this gentleman of colour who works at the 𝗲𝗏, not bad, huh? And he takes out, I was going to say privileged white people's trash. I don't know. That would be a supposition. Me trying to make what I want to say, make my opinion, make the facts fit. One of them. That would be me trying to make the facts fit my artistic license. But anyway, that's the sort of thing that inspires me. And it all fits in, doesn't it? There's very much a theme of this. Well, let me get you onto a future meme and you'll... Oh my God. I think we're... Oh no, damn, there we go. Something's happened. Yeah, so get me onto a couple of the future memes and you'll see the apparentlys and you'll see how my train of thought is going. So the next one, the next Trumpism, that's not it. That's the third one. So the next one in this series is apparently Trump treats tantrums as tactics. The world sees an insecure little boy taking his bat and ball home as he trips over his bottom lip. If he can't play, no one's playing. I don't know if it's been as blatant for you as it is for me. As blatant what we're dealing with here. You know, the thing is, he didn't get there alone. Theoretically, half the country, more than half the country, voted for him to be there. This is where I start to have difficulties, you see. Because as soon as I think, oh my God, what a disaster we had. I mean, I'm not American, but, you know, the world, you know, let's, Paris sort of treaty on emissions and stuff. Fuck that. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Fuck that, because we're America and we you know, Europe is a long way away, you know. This phenomenon, he got put there by half of you know, theoretically, the system is that the person with the most votes gets in. In other words, theoretically, more than 50%. So does that mean like more than? Okay, imagine everyone can vote in the States. Does that mean like more than 160 million people voted for Trump? You know, it's theoretically something like along those lines. So that's 160 million people like him, even though he was the. Well, you know. So I have difficulties, you see. I have difficulties. That's why I look at it as a problem of humanity, not a problem of politics or even a problem of personality. He got put there, you know. So we got to look somewhere a little bit further than just him getting there. It's like he's the puppet of all these people who would like him as their puppet. It's quite scary. Having said that, I don't let my life be. I enjoy writing these things called apparently. You see, I enjoy that. I'm having fun, and that is what I would bring you back to. If you can't say that you're having fun right now, then you're not leading a happy life. It's only now that you can lead a happy life. So these things seem like I'm burning up and, you know, doubled over with anger and angst at Trump. I'm not. I'm having fun writing these things. I'm playing with the words. I'm trying to say the most impactful and sometimes amusing or even poetic stuff in the smallest message, strongest message in the smallest number of words. That's fun. That's pure pleasure. It just so happens that today I'm doing it about this guy or humanity or this situation. Tomorrow it'll be something else. So don't think that I'm bitter and twisted because of this, because above and beyond all of these little happenings, including this little guy with a little title that we think means something, above and beyond that is our lives, our day-to-day lives. And even in our disappointment, angst, worry, I still try and remind people that, can you have fun whilst doing that? Can you have fun whilst being pissed off at his latest idiocy? Because if you can't, you're losing your life. That's the problem. And if you come to everything from a kind of fun perspective, and I know it's not easy, and I know I'm not saying someone has an accident and you laugh. Of course not. But fundamentally, can you come to things from a good place? And I'll show you how I tried to do that in the next one. This is beautiful British expressions, by the way. I'm just going to read some comments. Beautiful expressions from Britain. I don't know if you know these. We have this expression when someone is in a huff because they're losing the game, and we say they're going to take their bat and ball home. So they brought their bat and ball to the game. The kids are playing with it. They're losing. And then they go in a huff and they take their bat and ball home. They go home, and if I'm not playing, no one's playing. And we had this lovely expression, tripping over his bottom lip, you know. Tripping over your bottom lip. Okay, so the third one of those. well, let me just hover on this for a second. This is a non-political, non-anything thing. When you dare to declare your flame, things rarely remain the same. So this is in my Get Crazy Creative series of memes, which is purely about getting you to be more creative. It's on a beautiful found shot in Paris where someone, if you declare your flame, I don't know if you say that in English, do you do? Declare your flame, it means to say that you love someone, for example. And someone paints these heart plant things, heart vines, on the walls of Paris, and they've written, "I love you, Clementine." And I wrote a poem to go with this, but here I wrote a meme. When you dare to declare your flame, things rarely remain the same, and that's about taking action. That's about getting it out there, saying something that you believe. Even if there's a danger, you might get negative feedback or repercussions. That doesn't matter. If you want things to stay the same, keep quiet, don't do anything. On the contrary, do something and something will happen, and it's normally a good thing. So that's in that series. This is me holding up the Louvre pyramid. How about that? I flipped it on its end and I'm balancing it on my finger there. And that's the text that goes with it. Funky, huh? Balls, as it were. Me, it's a self-portrait. That's me. Oh no, that's me. Oh, hang on, that's me. And, oh, by the way, Despina, I'm going to look at your article in 1 second, okay? This is my latest paintings. These are my latest Infinity Squared paintings. That describes the pack. This is one of them. I've got 3 like this. One is to be adopted by one person. One is to be sent to 9 separate people in Infinity Squared puzzle packs, which are described here. 9 people will get 9 of those squares. They'll be connected forever to the people who have the other 8. And there's no beginning and no end to my paintings. That's a random position of it. This is another one. Someone said to me, "Please, can I have one which is all white? Please." And I thought, okay. And at the last minute, I couldn't bear not to add some colour. So there's the colour around the coin with my signature. And it's called white on white, or white is white, as opposed to black is black. This one is kind of rebelling against the white is white one, as you can see. And it's called Here You Are. This says Here You Are. This says Are You Here? And somewhere else split up in this configuration it says You Are Here. I've always found those signs really funny. You look at a map and on it says You Are Here, and there's an arrow pointing to a dot, and it's like, I know I'm here, but how the hell do I get there? So those are new ones. There's 3 of each of those type. 3 to be adopted, 3 to be sent as Infinity Square packs, and 3 to be scattered around the walls of Paris. I'm going to go quickly here. There's the Louvre, the pyramid. Okay, so this is the last one in this apparently series. Then I did another one which brings everything together. Apparently, the universe is reaching out. It sent COVID-19 to humble us. It served up Trump to show how far there still is to go. Now, what have we humans got to offer? So that's a way of trying to look positively, looking at the learning experience of this kind of crazy year. And as I wrote that and published it, I realised I hadn't included a couple more things I wanted to say. So I quickly, this is a funny picture. If you read the text, it's quite interesting, but I'll just show you the picture. No peeing. No peeing in Paris. Yeah, so this is the one. This is a normal meme. It's not the crazy creative memes. It's not the apparentlys. This is a normal. This is the Meme Streets of Paris. It's in the Meme Streets of Paris series. And I call it 2020 Vision. COVID-19 to humble. Trump to suffer shame. Chauvin to shake our very souls. Kamala to up our game. What's your takeaway? Want fake lies with that? Don's got you truly covered. So that was me trying to look on the positive side and the negative side. COVID-19 to make us humble, to make us realise we're not the lords of this place. Far from it. We think we are, and that's our downfall. That's the tragedy. We think we are above the rest. We think we've removed ourselves. We think we're not the same as the rest of life on this planet. And something like COVID-19 can be seen as a way of reminding us. I wouldn't put any sort of weird interpretations on it, like it's a sign from God or something. But having said that, you know, it wouldn't be bad if you did take it like that, would it? If it actually made you do something. Trump to suffer shame. I mean, this sounds political, but it's not. Remember, it's Trumpist or it's humanist. This guy was an embarrassment to practically everything I can think of. So I hope a lot of people were ashamed that he was the president of this huge country. I hope so. Of course, many people were not ashamed. That's where we are. That's where we are. That's fine. That's the way it is. Be okay with the way it is. But that doesn't mean you're not allowed to act personally the way you think it should be. And it comes from you, you know, it comes from us. That's where it's got to start. It starts with us, the change that we want. This guy, I pronounce it with a French accent, chauvin, because it's a French word. You know what it means? It means chauvinistic, or I don't know what the exact noun is in English, but a chauvinistic. It couldn't be better, could it, for this person who killed this guy with the knee on the neck. You know, it couldn't be a more appropriate name. And I think he did shake up a lot of souls. You know, another little brick in the possible, I was going to say a brick in the crumbling edifice of, but that doesn't work. But you know what I mean. And this Kamala, God, I don't know how, you know, to up our game. That's a positive sign, I think. A lady, they say she's a lady of colour. This colour thing, I never get it, you know, this colour thing, you know. I mean, I'm not white, I'm sort of piggy pink. Most black people aren't black, they're sort of brown, so, and then the shades, I really, you know, I don't like anything. I've decided not to believe in anything. I don't believe in anything. You know, as an artist, do you think people of colour, what do you think that means to an artist? Today, I've decided to paint a painting of colour. You know, what? What are you talking about? You know, you think an artist looks at the colours and there's white on one side and there's the colours of, there's the pots of white on one side and the pots of colour on the other. It's just so ridiculous. If you adhere to it, if you make that part of your reality, then go for it, you know. If you think there's such a thing as Republicans and whatever the other ones are, Democrats, go for it. If you want that to be your reality. If you think there's Conservatives and Socialists or Labour, you can. If you want to make that up, you can. Fine, go for it. Except you've immediately limited you've put blinkers on. As soon as you believe that certain systems exist that or are real things, and that above and beyond it we're not all just people, pretty much the same. As soon as you accept those things, you're kind of screwed. You know, it's like religion. As soon as you're one thing, there's people who aren't that thing. They're either not that thing. They're kind of in this sort of weird, hovering in this weird sort of hinterland or purgatory, and then or there's people who are something else, which isn't the same as what you are. You know, it could be religion, could be politics, could be the team you support, it could be the country you're from. You know, and as soon as you think that what you are is a thing, whatever label you've given yourself, obviously there's going to be people who aren't that thing, they're another thing. That's when the problems arise. So I'm not a fan of labels at all. Anyway, so that's that. Right, I'm now going to get on to, let's have a look at Dsbinus thing. How can I find that? That was a genuine question. I reckon if I go to today's the day, no. Maybe I'm going to go to Infinite Creativity now and look for Dsbinus' article. So this is a very interesting series of articles, Dsbinus. He was voted, Sab. Yeah, he was voted. Then there's the system, which isn't which isn't particularly transparent either. The system doesn't make sense to everyone. The stats are true. Yeah, it's a weird thing. I mean, you know, at least democracies, the thing called democracy is probably better than the thing called dictatorship. You know, let's not mock it. Today it's a new day. Every day's a new day. If we look back at the tactics of Hitler back in the days, he was a genius in orchestrating everything for a lot of years. This is why it is important for people like you and Christina to be out there and speak that truth, and you, 𝗏𝗏, and change the world one heart at a time. Yeah, yeah. Chauvinist is nationalist. Okay. Yeah. Creative writing group is my post. Okay, creative writing group. So I'm going to go to the creative writing group. So it's blog and article writing group. Let me close some of these things. So what 𝗏𝗏 is doing is reading the book, The Four Aggrievements, Toltec something or other, and writing articles on them. And it's very good because, you know, I've never read the book. I know what the four things are. I couldn't probably quote them to you because, you know, I don't retain stuff that I can find easily. But there are four things, kind of four tenets, four useful guidelines for leading a, well, according to this thing. I mean, it's a book, but obviously these things didn't start with the book. The principles are, you know, principles that have been around for a long time. And every now and then, you know, someone will pull together some useful principles, put them into a book, or possibly clarify an ancient system, making it simpler for today's readers, or more understandable, more accessible for today's readers. And great, you know, so this is what this book is. It's got four things. And 𝗏𝗏 says that it's really good because it's simple and yet it's explained clearly. And 𝗏𝗏 is synthesizing that and making it even simpler. What was the first? Hang on, let's see if I can find the... if I go to blog feed, would that give me the first one as well? So the second agreement is don't take anything personally. The first one, or maybe I have to go down. The first agreement, be impeccable with your word, which speak with integrity. Oh, she's put it in bold. That's so cool. Say only what you mean. I'm a bold reader. If it isn't in bold, I just don't bother reading it. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. And I remember reading this and you were saying that it's, or listening to you, talking to you, and saying it's not easy. It's not easy to not gossip. And 𝗏𝗏, you were telling me about a situation even yesterday or the day before where it was so tempting to gossip. You know, small village. Did you hear what she did? You know, da-da-da. Gossip, it's part of the social structure, isn't it? It's part of the sort of the glue that holds families together and which makes friends friends and, you know, us and them. It's us and them again, isn't it? And this principle says, don't do it. It's like what Socrates says. I can't remember what they were. But, you know, if it's not going to help, if it's something unpleasant, is it necessary to say it? And if not, well, don't say it. The thing is, we enjoy gossip, don't we? We enjoy it, but for the wrong reasons. Because it's, you know, it's like speaking with forked tongue, speaking behind someone's back. It's not an easy principle to take on board because, as I said, our entire society is based on that. I mean, gossip, whether we like it or not, is a way of consolidating your so-called friendships and making it clear what clan you're in and who is us and who is them. It's like wearing a football shirt. You show to which, you know, clan you belong. Having said that, gossip is particularly nasty because we like gossiping with everyone. So one minute you're gossiping with someone about a third person, but when you're with the third person, you'll then gossip about the other. You know, it's very difficult to not do it. So So that's, I think it's a good principle, and you can't do it immediately. It's something you have to, first of all, realize you're doing. And that's what something like this book and these articles is useful for. It reminds you that it's a thing. It reminds you that gossiping, for example, is a thing. Because you forget, you think, you don't even think. First of all, you realize that you're gossiping. And you realize that it's not very helpful. And finally, so you realize gossiping is a thing. You accept that it's not very helpful, or that it's not a particularly honourable way to lead your life. And thirdly, you spot yourself doing it and you start to do it less. So that's what this is valuable for, I think. And it's something to definitely take on board. I might write a post on gossip only. Yeah, you're thinking about Hitler. Hitler's a very common example, isn't it, of someone who was a genius at uniting the masses, or possibly brainwashing them. I don't know what you would use. And Trump isn't that far off, actually. In his, I wouldn't say he's got oratory skills. I think he's a moron. But again, half the damn country voted him in. So what does that say? What does that say about half the country, and what they consider to be a good speaker? And there's a fly, that's why I keep looking at the air. And this is where you have to be careful, because I'm making judgments, For one thing, if more people wanted him in than out, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's a great guy. On the other hand, maybe I'm judging people, whereas I shouldn't. Am I judging people? I'm saying, are you voting for Trump? You're a moron too. Well, that would be kind of stupid, wouldn't it? And on some things, I probably think he would do a better job than someone else, to be honest. Maybe a leader needs to be strong. And he seemed to be strong in terms of confidence. So the second agreement is don't take anything personally. Lesmina says, I might write a post on gossip only. This one is really interesting, isn't it? Don't take anything personally. There was a joke, an old joke. Don't take this personally. Oh no, I won't take it personally. I'll get my secretary to take it. Don't take anything personally. And there's a couple of sides to this. Here it says, it has nothing to do with you. It's been my mantra since January 2020, she says. You say. And helped me through a lot of pain and trouble. We ask ourselves, why did he talk to me like that? Why did they treat me like this? How can he call me stupid? I didn't do anything to him. And we think the problem is ours. And this, what do they call them? Agreement says it has nothing to do with you. It's all about them. It's not my problem, it's their problem. And let me say that again. Okay. It has nothing to do with you. It's all about that. And you do. It's not my problem, it's their problem. So if they do something nasty, unpleasant, or horrible, the idea is you consider that it's not your problem, it's their problem. They have the problem. So they say you're an idiot. They are the one with the problem. And I told myself this for a long time. I thought this was great. Really good way to look at things. I didn't use the word problem. I tended to use the word opinion. If someone doesn't like me, that's their opinion. It doesn't mean that I'm unlikable, because someone else might like me. So as soon as I realised that, and my best example for this was a competition where you're at the final. It's one of these singing competitions. I almost said stupid singing competitions, but I shouldn't say that, should I? Because there's a lot of people there giving their best and stuff. It's just that the music's so crap and the song's so unoriginal. And what about the old days when you had to fight your way through, the bars, crummy little gigs and stuff? You wrote your own stuff, you worked, you sweated, and you finally slowly got recognised. Now you just go on The Voice, win The Voice or Britain's Got Talent or whatever, And if you win, you're a star. You've got your record deal, you've got your voice trainers, you've got that stupid box that makes anyone sound like they can sing, you know, even though it sounds like you're a robot singing through a tin can. So imagine you're the finalist of The Voice. Finalists. There's two people, and there's the person who's going to read the answer. And the winner is, and the two possible people are standing there. And the winner is, let's say, Joe. No, hang on. The two candidates are Joe and Don, for example. One person says, and the winner is Joe. The source was the same, the person saying Joe. Joe suddenly became extremely happy. Don suddenly became extremely sad. And yet the source was the same. So, that would suggest that it's the person who is receiving that is making the distinction, deciding what emotion they're going to feel. In the same way, you could say that there's one person that says you're great, there's another person that says you're an idiot. You could say that those two people have their own opinions, but you are what you are. So in this thing about it has nothing to do with you, it's all about them, it's not my problem, it's their problem. I think there's two ways of looking at this, and I think you talk about this later. The first is, yes, it's their problem, or if they've got a problem with you, it's their problem, it's not yours. Why should it be yours? Because someone else doesn't have a problem with you, so they have to deal with it. Even if they like you, you could say that's their problem, you know, because they might like you and want you to be with them, but you don't want to be with them. So their problem is that they like you, but you don't. But it's their problem. The other way of looking at this, that's good. I think it's really powerful. The other way of looking at this is to say, it's my problem. If I don't like how they are, what they're saying, or what they're doing, or how they're acting, if I don't like that, it's my problem. And if I like what someone's doing, again, that's my problem, or it's my personal feeling. So you could turn it around and say, okay, it's my problem if I don't like what they did. Or I could say it's my choice to react in a certain way based on what someone did. If they did something, I could decide to be neutral. I could decide to let it upset me, or I could decide to let it amuse me, or I could decide to let it teach me. So in a way, you could flip that around and say, yes, if I want to have a problem with that, I can have a problem with it. But if I want to have a learning opportunity from it, I can have a learning opportunity from it. And in which case, you are accepting responsibility for your reaction to the external stimulus, but you're doing it with the intention to choose how you react, which isn't always easy. But it's another way of looking at it, and I think you mentioned that later. So this thing, it's not my problem, it's their problem. That's good, but you can also accept responsibility for your reactions to people. Another nugget of wisdom here. All events are neutral until you place some value on them. Your suffering will begin the minute you decide that this event is bad. Your happiness will begin the minute you decide that this event is good. That's exactly it. You see, that's the same. And that's why I prefer Taoism to Buddhism. Because Taoism, it's a bit like Buddhism without the suffering, without the crap. Taoism is just like, everything's cool. What is, you know, stuff like that. Whereas the Buddhists, I love Buddhism, but they do tend to have this kind of thing about suffering, you know, you got to suffer, you know, got to come back, you know, a few hundred times as an ant and as a piece of crap and as a beetle. And then maybe one day you'll come back finally, when you've reached level, I don't know, 7 or whatever of the dimensions of consciousness. Maybe, you know, how many more lifetimes until I come back as kind of, you know, like someone with a bit more money? Taoism. Taoism is cool because it just, just chill out. What is. Just watch it flow past. It's really good. And that's why I'm rereading, after many, many years, a book, which I can't see. And it's a book called The 𝗏𝗏 and the Tea of Piglet. I might fall off my chair at some point. Yeah, so I don't know where it is. Yeah, The 𝗏𝗏 and the Tea of Piglet. It explains in a beautiful, fun way the principles of Taoism through Winnie the Pooh and Piglet. So that's something I recommend you check out. Okay. All right. So let's move on. I'm going to chug through. Have I chugged through all of my things here? Yeah, I think I have. So you're thinking possibly, 𝗏𝗏, of writing a post on gossip only. Yeah, well, you could do that, couldn't you? That could be a fun thing to do. So I'm going to just get rid of this, lazypig.com. These are my chronicles of the week. I won't do a word for my sponsor because you already know this, 𝗏𝗏. Having said that, I have changed this recently. So as you can see, I'm now planning my next masterclass, which is in January. Starting in January, from January to April. There's a word for my sponsors, people. From 𝗼𝗡𝐼𝑛�finitecreativity_now.com. It's another 9-week creative experience. It's a masterclass, and it starts in January after a 5-day creativity challenge. And it's in the same spirit as my photography masterclass and my future writing masterclass. And it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. So for 9 weeks, for my photography masterclass, which is running now, the topic is obviously, guess what? Photography, smartphone photography, but also general photography. So you come and you complete a 9-week project on that. In autumn next year, I'm going to do a writing masterclass, a blog and article writing masterclass. It's the same principle. It's 9 weeks, and you will do a writing project, and you will finish the writing project at the end of 9 weeks. And I call it blog and article writing because I write articles every day, and you could say I put them on blogs. So that's kind of where my experience lies. But having said that, what sort of writing can you put on a blog? Well, quite a lot. You could put poetry, you could put short stories, you could put articles, you could put memes. Those are the 4 areas of writing which I'm particularly passionate about. I don't say that I do them all, but I can definitely do a course on that. So that course is coming in next autumn, a 9-week course. In January, this is going to be fantastic. It's going to be a 9-week course, and it's going to be, instead of it being an imposed project, 9-week project, writing of some sort or photography, it's you bringing your creative project. You still have the 9-week structure. You still declare your project at the beginning, and you are led through to finish at the end. That's there. The thing is, I don't know what your creative project is. It could even be photography or writing. That's not a problem. But it could be anything else. Anything you can decide on a 9-week project with a structure and go through it creatively, that will be fine for coming on the Infinite Creativity Now Masterclass. And there's going to be much more focus on the creative process and the productive process, having great ideas and getting them done. That's what it is. So that's going to be amazing. That's starting. And then the next one, photography again in the spring, blog and article writing in the autumn. So that was a word from my sponsors. This is another one. If you want to get my newsletter, go on to infinitecreativitynow.com/newsletter. Get my newsletter weekly or more often. And finally, if you want to see what I'm up to on Patreon, which is where you can become one of my patrons and get some special privileges for an extremely modest fee, or you can contribute far more if you like, or a tiny bit more. And the more you help out as one of my patrons, the more stuff you get, including paintings. It's kind of to help all of my creative endeavors, but there's a kind of focus on painting because that's what this site is for. It's for artists. as much as anything else. So it's a really cool place. It's really wonderful to support someone's work that you appreciate. And that's that. So that was the word from my sponsors. And I'm just going to chug through another couple of things, creative things. You can see, I don't know if you can see in the background, my drum, my terrible, poor drum that hasn't been used. I put it there to make myself remember that I should be practicing it every day, and I'm not. So this is one of the things. Hang on. Thomas says, hello, are you still live? Yeah, I'm live. I'm live, Thomas, yeah. And we'll be for a few minutes to go yet. And you've missed practically everything, but thank you for popping in. Yeah, so I'm in my latest article, which I showed you, called How Often Should I... Can you remember that? I'm just going to show it to you again because it was... there's one point that I want to make to you. One point. And I made this in the newsletter. In the newsletter, I take something out of one of my articles and I give you one key point. And I'm going to tell it to you now. Could have gone elsewhere to get this. What about if I go to... You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to Infinite Creativity now, and then you get the point immediately. So every newsletter I put a small paragraph of a hard-hitting creative or productive tip, and this was it for the last one, and it was linked to this article. That's actually me live. I don't want to see that. Go away. We're getting there, we're getting there. And I think it's a good format. We had zooms. Oh my goodness, I don't know who that is. God, I don't even think that was it. This is it. Sorry, you couldn't see what I was doing, which is okay. So this is it. How often should you work on your passion? And I say, well, listen, you don't have to be creating stuff 24/7, like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just a little something every day will do. Every day, you scream, are you crazy? Just a little something, I said, not hours and hours. And besides, there's a big problem with not producing every day. That problem is called rest days, cheat days, or simply days off. The problem is, hang on, he knows I'm still alive now. The problem is they're incredibly flexible, these rest days, cheat days, days off. Incredibly flexible. And before you know it, every day will be volunteering to be your day off. It's Friday. I don't feel like doing it. I'll be the day off. It's Wednesday. I don't feel like doing it. I'll be the day off. I'll be the day. Wednesday can be your day off. Just this week. Pretty soon, every day will be volunteering to be your day off, and pretty soon they will be, all of them. They'll all be your day off because you'll have given up. Do a little of what you love every day, and you'll never have to ask, is today my day off? Because you don't look at them as days off. You look at them as another day, and in your life, you do a little bit of this cool thing each day. It's as simple as that. Do a little of what you love each day, every day, and you'll never have to ask, is today my day off? No, you create every day, remember? Oh yeah, that's right. Excellent. It's a wonderful thing to know that you create every day. You don't want days off. Why would you want a sad day with no creativity? That'd be a bad day. The thing is, though, to do something creative every day, but to make it so easy to do and so fun and so natural that it doesn't feel right when you haven't done it. It's like going to sleep, going to bed, and you haven't brushed your teeth, for example. You don't feel right. You get up and do it, even if you're half asleep. You think, oh God, I've got to brush my teeth. That's what creativity should be like. To make it like that, you have to find something which is not difficult to do. It's a pure pleasure to do. It's part of your passion. It's part of your life. That's what you have to do. That's how it works. That's another process, you know, about finding this purpose, finding the meaning, having your mission. It's all linked to that. Okay. So in Patreon, I used to support a teacher. I'm not sure if it's only for artists. No, it's for anybody. It's for anybody, but a lot of artists, it started to support artists. And but in the end, you know, anyone who has it's supposed to be an artistic project, but businesses can get supported, you know, but it's very often it's for singers, you know, people who are working on their own. They would like support from people. They want to be closer to their fans or to their supporters or appreciators. They want to be closer to them, and it's a nice way of doing that. And it's not for nothing, you know, they either get something kind of nominal for the lower tiers, you know, it might be an acknowledgement. For example, Thomas is a patron, so I'm acknowledging him, appreciating him. That is kind of the payment, plus you get periodic updates only for patrons. But at the higher tiers, they get more and more access to you, and they get more and more stuff, you know. So a singer might give them early access to an album. At the higher tiers, I give paintings away. I start to give little puzzle pieces away in the lower tiers, and as you go up the tiers, you get paintings and bigger paintings, and several puzzle packs a year. So there's all these things. You changed the infinity square puzzle in the background. Yeah, funnily enough, I think this is my first ever, or my second ever, and it's an amazing bunch of colours. Maybe I can show it to you closer up. And I'll have to make the camera bigger again. Hang on. So as you can see, it's an infinity square painting. In other words, the lines that go, there's 2 lines going off, there's 3 lines going off there, and 3 lines come in there. Okay, so those are joined to that. So this is, again, it's just a random configuration. It could be any way, any direction. It could be this way up, that way up, and of course you could change the pictures around, or the pieces around, any way you like. This one's called, I think this is called Tutti Frutti. I think it was the first one ever, back in 2004 or something. There was this one and a white one in the same style. I mean the black one. I mean black and white. So that was that. And you know, I don't know if I'll ever sell that, because I haven't read the comments. Maybe you'll want to buy it, but to sell that one, oh my God, I don't know. So what does it say? What is that rainbow bracelet? This is from my son. I'm just wearing it to honour him. It's like a little rubber thing, you see, and it's my son Leo put it together. So I just put it on to think of him. You know, it's not like I wear this all the time. I'm some sort of hippie, but I thought it'd be fun. So thanks for spotting it. That is Leo. Leo did that for me. Beautiful kid. This puzzle behind you looks really great. Yeah, well, yeah, I must do another one like that. It's the first one or the second one I did like more than 15 years ago, and I still haven't let it go. I can't sell it. It's just too important now, I think. You will show it to us, and show it to us, And this, your puzzles, always reminds me of MC Escher. Well, thanks. I don't think I'm quite at that level, but it's not the same thing, put it that way. But yeah, you're right though. Do you remember that one with the hand? It's like the hand is drawn on the paper and slowly the hand becomes alive. I mean, becomes 3D, goes round, drawing another hand, and eventually the final hand is drawing the first hand. It's just amazing stuff. Show. Lil is lovely. Well done. I love these rubber bracelets. My niece made one for me once. Okay, so the only thing I've got left for tonight is for me to show you my pictures from this time. By the way, do let me know what you've got planned to be creative in the coming week, or what you're happy with last week. That's always an option. So this is my latest series. This is my latest chapter. I haven't finished. Today's was the guy peeing, but I have put in the final picture just to make it complete. Okay, so this was today's. You can't see it. Would be helpful if you could see it, wouldn't it? So this is a guy peeing. It's kind of funny little sign there. So there's a funny story to go with it. It's actually above this funny little building which is opposite. It's on the banks of the river, and next to the bank of the river is a barge, a big barge, and it's the pompier. It's the fire and like the ambulance and fire service. They rescue people, and they've got this barge. And this funny little brick building, there's these steps going down, and they've put this sign saying no peeing, but it's kind of almost looks like it's been made by hand. And the peeing bit, the yellow peeing bit, has actually looks like it's been put on by hand. So I was thinking it was kind of funny that the firemen want to be the only ones who can put water on things. So that's what my text is all about. So there, if you care to read it. And now this one, 𝗏𝗏. I know I said I wasn't going to use a similar one to this, but I decided to use this one. The one that I said I wasn't going to use, I didn't use. But this one was okay, because the legs were kind of off to the left. It didn't block the pyramid. The legs of the two people are together. So it's like, there's almost like this, it's like two people in one, which I thought was quite good. They're off to the top left. And then you've got this lovely, these zooming lines leading you to the pyramid. So I thought, okay, it's good. I like it. It's okay. And oh, hang on. Thomas is saying, I wanted to do a shot reflecting this pic this afternoon, but it didn't work out. The light has already gone. Maybe it was better that way. Okay. A shot reflecting this picture, this one or the peeing one? The peeing pic. Yeah, the peeing pic is funny, isn't it? And in my story, I talk about how the situation is much better now in terms of peeing than in the past. I won't read it, but it's got all my fancy language and stuff. It says, 𝗏𝗏 says it's funny. He has his hands on his back while peeing. Yeah, it's like he's, some French guys, they sort of they decide they pee, but it's like, hey, I'm still gonna be nonchalant even though I'm peeing. So it's like, they're not necessarily hanging on to it as they pee. So there you go. I think also the curve is kind of, the funny thing is he hasn't got a 𝗍𝗍, as they say in French. He hasn't actually got one, but he's got the arrow, but there's no actual thing, so it's kind of funny, isn't it? I guess he's bent backwards, so it's as though he was, pushing it. I don't know. Don't get me into this sort of conversation. What do I know? I didn't make the sign. This one is, this one actually deserves me to get rid of this banner for once and for all. Yeah, this one. So this one is in the courtyard of the Louvre. I haven't Yes, I have written the text. I've just done it. Funnily enough, I've just done the text and I remembered now that I was going to write about what this thing is. I've just written the text and it's nothing to do with this. Oh my God. All right, that's the way it goes. Yeah, so there it is. That is this. And I won't say I'm unhappy with this shot. Okay. And as you can see, they all have texts. Once again, I like it. This was a trip just before the lockdown came in again. And I said, I've got to go into Paris because I don't know if it's going to be another 4 weeks or is it going to be 4 months. Went into Paris, got a few shots. And as you can see, I was around at 𝗿𝙗. This is 𝗿𝙗. This is Austerlitz station. This is some tower that they have. This is Palais Royal. This is Palais Royal. This is Palais Royal. Look at the differences. One place, like meters apart. You've got this, and you've got this. Literally meters apart. How cool is that? This is the Louvre. This is the banks of the River Seine. And I've got some other lovely pictures to show you soon. Banks, but more like the river, or boats on the river. Take me down to your, take me back to your boat on the river. Someone in the Today's the Day group, I think. No, it might have been, we're doing a thread in the, and I invite you to contribute. And if you've already contributed, contribute again. In the smartphone photography group, it's a thread where you put a picture and the song it reminds you of with a YouTube link, or a song that you want to share and a picture of yours that it reminded you of. It doesn't matter which way it goes. Picture reminds you of a song, song reminds you of a picture. It's got to be your picture. It doesn't have to be your song. And it's so cool. I'm going to do this regularly. It's just so cool. The only problem is we can't play the songs on the show, otherwise it'll get censored. But it's so cool that you can have the picture and then you just click and you go off to the song. Having said that, Jean put beautiful shots, absolutely beautiful shots. This one, prairie. She calls it prairie, okay? Remember that word. And then she, this one is so cool. Do you think she's lying on her back here? I think she is, lying on her back. Should I put that back? And then you're probably saying no, but I did. Bit of branding. And then a lovely shot of her here, Jean, who's doing my photography masterclass. And then prairie, she calls it. And then she put this. Now you're probably going to hear this. It's a beautiful piano and song written thing. Sung thing. From her daughter. I don't know if you'll hear this. You might. I'm going to shut up when she starts singing. I just don't want any issues. Beautiful piano. I'm going to stop it there just in case there's a just in case Facebook decides after a few seconds that that's somebody else's music, you can't play it, and they ban the whole show. But I am going to go ahead a little bit to where she sings. It's really beautiful. So it's beautiful, absolutely wonderful. Isn't it fantastic when someone who you know is the singer? That is so cool. It's like when you know the artist, you know the photographer, you know the writer. Such a cool thing. So that's great. And we had, I've got other comments coming in here. And we had, well, I put a lot in there because when I get going on music, I can't stop. Oh, we had such wonderful songs to listen to discover from Thomas, from Angela, Alice. Really great stuff. It's so wonderful to discover new music. So I'm going to make this maybe a monthly theme. You know, every month there'll be one of the weeks will be this theme, because it's just such a cool way to discover new music. Really, really cool song, yeah, from Jean's daughter, who is called Jennifer. A beautiful song, yeah. Yeah, so basically that's it. I'm done. I'm not going to, drag it out for the sake of it. That's an hour and a half I've been going. By the way, just say hello if you haven't, and say goodbye if you'd like to say goodbye. Thank you for being here with me. It's been lovely. I've really enjoyed it. I've loved your interaction. Thanks to everyone who came along live. If you've watched this on the replay, I really appreciate that as well. I appreciate you. Feel free to leave your comments, and I will get back to you. So thanks Thomas, thanks 𝗏𝗏, thanks to Christina. So nice to see you, Christina. It's been so long. Really appreciate you looking in and sharing your creativity, and as everyone. And yeah, so that's fantastic. Really nice. Appreciate you all. And just chugging through the comments here, make sure. 𝗏𝗏 is saying good night. Good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite, don't set yourself alight, is what I used to say to my mum, or actually it was between me and my mum. I'd say good night, she'd say good night, I'd say good night, she'd say sleep tight, I'd say don't let the bed bugs, no, she'd say good night, I'd say sleep tight, she'd say don't set yourself alight, I'd say no, night night, sleep tight, don't set yourself alight, don't let the bed bugs bite, don't have a horrible fright. And we went on and on and on until we ran out of words that rhymed with the sound ite. It was kind of cool. Bye bye, have a nice night or day, night and day. Yeah, and see you tomorrow. So tomorrow is, what happens tomorrow? Tomorrow is a quick live, a Zoom, where you come on and say what you're planning on doing, which is cool, in the days to come. All right, so if you want to do that, you can literally come on for 5 minutes if you want. I don't want it to be long and drawn out. Come on, say hello, say what you're excited about doing in the next few days of this week, and then go away and do it. And then come back on Friday and say, I did it. How cool is that? And it's a real Zoom call. I can see your faces, and we can have a chat as well. I still haven't drunk my green thing. Look, I'm going to do it. How grim is that? How grim is my valley? I'm going to do it in front of you so you can see. Yaruska, bonne nuit Sab, bonne nuit Yaruska. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to turn my teeth green. Swallowed it. Okay, so I'm going to drink this before the night's out. Bye bye, and take care everyone. Thanks a lot for being part of my universe, my creative universe, and for letting me be part of yours. And see you again very soon. If you're on the photography course, have a nice week off. Bye for now.